BSHL fans, and welcome to the unofficial BSHL Senior Hockey League podcast. The second week of the playoffs saw two teams eliminated. The Hawks eliminated the Corsairs, and the Northmen eliminated the Ducks. Now, the Hawks will take on the Dalhousie Marauders, and the Northmen will take on the first-place Bucktooth JCs. Tune in this Thursday's episode, and I'll have the game times for this weekend, or check out the unofficial BSHL Senior Hockey League podcast Facebook page for other details. Now, here's your hosts, everybody's favorite duo, the Coreys.
Hello and welcome to the unofficial BSHL Senior Hockey League podcast. I'm your host, Corey, joined by the ladies of the BSHL podcast, Cheryl.
Hi, everybody.
And Tracy.
What's up, cheese bags?
Corey is violently ill. He ate some bad guacamole and he's just not here now. He's very sick though. He lost his voice and we wish him the best. He probably won't be making it to any games this weekend, but we'll have him covered. So speedy recovery, buddy. Two games to talk about from this weekend.
Yes.
Which game do you girls want to start with?
Well, I didn't go to Miramichi, so Cheryl, you want to talk to us about that game? You were there.
I was there. Yeah, it was crazy. Like just being there, like with the crowd and with the people and how loud it got. And like when the goal started rolling, it was just nonstop. It was crazy.
So speaking of goals,
yes.
This game ended with Miramichi beating the Amherst Ducks, eliminating them, doing the clean sweep. This game ended 9-1. Goal scorers, Kennedy Gallant got the hat trick and the apple, so 4 points. William Irvine with 2 goals and 4 points as well. Jeff Wilson with 2 goals. And Brett Young and Josh Russell both with 1 goal, 3 points each. Not the best exit for Amherst. Pretty dominant effort by Miramichi. Not even an effort, just they dominated. Cheryl, which player in this game stood out for you?
Oh my, Kennedy Gallant. He was everywhere. Yeah. He was just everywhere that I looked. Like it was crazy.
He's a spitfire. He's just everywhere. Yeah. He's in the scrums. He hits. He'll do the passes. He'll try to score. Like he's doing a little bit of everything except, and sometimes even he'll stop a puck, so he can do goalie. So,
yeah, he's definitely an all-star for sure.
Yeah. Something rare to see in this game. Matt Welsh was pulled for the third, and Jesse Cox took his place. Thoughts on the Amherst Ducks season?
It was really good. They won like clinch games that they needed to, and like when you travel to Amherst to go and see them play, like it was just like electricity because the players were there, the fans were there. It was just amazing to see. And when they needed the win, they got the wins there. They lost a few on the way, like away games and whatnot, but like it's expected. This league is so good. The players, every team is good. Like it's a whole caliber of hockey that I've never seen before, and it just continues to grow and get better every year. So I can't wait for next year.
Tracy?
I think when you look at the first season for any team in any sports, it truly goes one of two ways. They either are the Cinderella story or they're finding their way. There's usually no kind of middle ground. I think the Amherst Ducks came in so professional. Just their whole vibe and approach to being part of the league. Their social media game was top notch. Their jerseys are one of the best. The story of Buck the Duck being this organic, mascot for them. I think that's a testament to how that town, Amherst, really has. It was a little slow. Like it was they supported them the first few games, and then I think attendance dwindled a little bit, but they really rallied behind them. And for me, the whole series was a battle of the mascots. It looked like Norm was feeling high. Game 3.
Yeah.
He was absolutely on a high. He would go up he was at the top of the stairs right where I was recording, and I'd turn and I'd see him. And one time he was at the top of the stairs and he had a little duck in his hand and he was like petting the duck, and I'm like, oh no. Oh my gosh.
He had a broom.
He had a broomstick as well at the end, for the sweep. Yeah. He's comical.
Yeah. A little mean, but that's just me liking all the teams. I kind of look at the Amherst Ducks as someone in a foot race, and the first foot goes forward, and it's pretty good. You beat the Dalhousie Marauders on your first game at home, and then it's like you step on a rock, and you're sort of stumbling, and you keep on your feet, and you're going. But for most of the year, it's like Shippigan last year. They were dead last the entire season till the very end. And it's like they had a hard time finding their footing, but they never gave up. You got to give them credit for just continuing to fight. The fighting spirit in Amherst was alive and well. It just wasn't their night on Friday. And, hope for the best next year.
Absolutely. I think this will be... they'll have a lot of lessons learned from this season. And I think that whole team is, from management down to their players, it's filled with intelligent people who can take what they've learned and reshape it into something similar but improved. Yeah.
So game number 2 saw the LC Puck Duck Hawks sweep as well. La Corsaire de la Péninsule Acadienne. They won 5-3. Some goal scorers: Brody MacArthur, a Rookie of the Year, with 2 goals, 3 points. Peter Traynor with 1 goal, 3 points. Robbie Graham, 1 goal, 2 points. And Alex Scully with 1 goal. From the Peninsula, Kelsey Tessier had 2 goals. And Jean-Samuel Lagacé with 1 goal, 2 points. A close game, but also a dominating win for the Hawks.
Yeah, and how many of those goals for the Hawks were on the power play? Was it at least 3?
It's 2 or 3 for sure. For sure. I think the first one, it might be 3 actually, now that I think about it, because Scully's was not a power play. I believe he just put it in. I believe Traynor was on the power play, Graham was on the power play, and MacArthur's was on the power play as well. So, hell, it might even be 4, but those power plays really came in handy for the Hawks. And it's like game 2, the implosion of the Peninsula in the third period when they just took penalty after penalty after penalty. It cost them in the end, and it cost them in the third game as well. So, Cheryl, you've seen the game, I imagine?
I have.
Thoughts on this?
They played with grit. The Hawks did good. They dominated when they needed to. And the fans were so loud, and it was just overwhelming to see how loud that place is. And I've been there and I know how loud it is. And it kind of like, you can kind of feel it in your bones. Like it's just, it's a big boost for the Hawks to win on home ice. I've been there. I've been the Hawks fan and seen them win the championship like a couple of years ago. And it felt like that. Like it's playoff hockey, and it's playoff hockey. And it's
someone that really showed up for the third game is Jason Ryu.
Yes.
Dominated. He had some saves in there that was like, this is the Ryu that we were waiting for. And I think he's finding his legs in the playoffs, and I think he's having fun. At the end of this episode, you'll get to hear an interview with Jason Ryu and the Big Boss before he got all sick. Big Boss, not Ryu, but Tracy, thoughts on Ryu and his performance on Sunday night? It was Friday night.
Friday? What time? I'm like, what day is it?
I'm still in regular season mode.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think you're absolutely correct. Like I think coming into this season, the Hawks fans had very high hopes with Ryu, considering what he did with the Lumberjacks last season. I don't think that he was any worse, but I think it all comes down to chemistry. You have to kind of find where you are, figure out, when your defensemen are in front of you, what can you expect from them? And if there's any time to find your footing, I think it is right now. I do want to go back to what Cheryl said about the crowd, though, at LC. So Big Boss, Corey, and I were at that game, and it is the first time, very, very long time, that we got there at a decent hour. I think, a couple hours before the game started, an hour and a half, and we had to park in the overflow parking because there were that many people. Now, granted, it's winter parking, so we probably could have found a spot. But yeah, it was insane. We ended up for the third period standing on the other side of the rink near the Corsairs bench, and you appreciate when you're sitting in the stands with the fans how loud and supportive they are, but it's a whole other experience when it's coming towards you. I can only imagine what the Hawks bench hears and feels from that.
Yeah. So Cheryl was in Miramichi. Tracy was in Rishabukto. I was supposed to be in Moncton for North Pro, and my car wouldn't start. So I'm saying this because Corey would have ripped me a new one if he would be here. So in honor of Corey, I'm ripping myself a new one. I don't know if it was my mom, if it was me. We went to Moncton the day before, and I think the door was left open just a crack. And I get in my I wasn't meant to go anywhere that day.
Mm-hmm.
So it's snowing when I get up. And if anybody knows me, I hate driving in snow. Hate it. Loathe it even. So I'm like, man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it to the show. Like, I hate driving in that weather. I hate it. And as quickly as it started, it stops. So I'm like, okay, I'm hoping at this point the roads are good. All right, I clean off my car. I get in my car. I press the brake. I press the button. Click, 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 click. Okay, try it again. Click, 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 click. Try it a third time. Click, 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 click. And I can just imagine myself just staring out the window with a 1,000-yard stare, just going, I've been defeated today. So I go back inside. I text Joel. I'm like, tell the boys I'm not making it to the show. My car won't start. So Corey calls me, or I call Corey. I don't even remember. Corey's like, you want to come to the game? I can go get you. I'm like, I'm not going anywhere. He's like, I know. I just thought I'd offered. Like, I was just defeated that day. So I got to watch both the Amherst game and the Corsair game. But yeah, Friday was not my day. I didn't get to see anything live. And yeah, you're welcome, Corey.
I'm surprised your rage wasn't enough to start your car.
My car is lucky there's not holes everywhere, because people say I have an anger problem. I start screaming like a little girl. Like, I get angry, and that's the biggest comedy from my mom. She goes, "You're so unintimidated. You don't look intimidating at all. You sound like a little girl screaming that you lost your Barbie doll." I'm like, thanks, Mom. I really appreciate that. Me thinking like, yeah, I'm mad. And, I don't look mad at all. I look like a little wussy. So,
or like a little angry elf.
The angry elf. Thank you, Adam Story, for that. I never thought that one would catch on. Even my mom started calling me an angry elf.
Like, I would have thought, like, Jim the Anvil would be the one to catch on because, I
The
mean,
angry
He
elf.
looks like Aunt Jim the Anvil.
yeah.
Way
way
better
back.
looking than Jim the Anvil, right? Adam Story, if he gives you a nickname, it usually sticks. So, if Adam Story could start naming Cheryl Camera, that
No.
would be sweet.
It's lame, dude. It's so lame. Like Corey, my brother, on the last podcast, he called me Sister Pod, like Mama Pod and Papa Pod. I'm like, Sister Pod? That rocks. I'm totally putting it on the back of one of my Yeti mugs and whatnot. I'm totally gonna put Sister Pod. I'm like, I will rock that.
We'll get you a new mug that says camera.
No, you won't. I will not
Camera
accept
it is. So games this weekend that are guaranteed. On Thursday at 8:30, the Bucktoosh Miramichi series starts, and on Saturday, the LC Dalhousie series starts in Bucktoosh and in Dalhousie. 7:30 is the Dalhousie game. What can fans expect from these games? Because Bucktoosh and Miramichi, let's not forget game 1 of the season. Was it last year or this year? The big hit. It was last year, right?
Technically calendar year, but yes.
So last year, the big hit, and then there was, I'm talking last season, the big hit to start the season. And then this season, we get Parento's.
I thought that was the one.
No, I'm talking about like 2 years in a row, they started the season one against the other. A big hit in the first season, a suspension in the second one with Parento. These two teams do not like each other. People are writing off Miramichi, and I think that's a mistake.
It's a definite mistake.
Like Corey said, people that say Miramichi doesn't have a superstar on their roster, yes, they do. His name is Bryce Milson. That guy can carry a team anywhere.
And Dan Vautour.
Dan Vautour in net. I'm looking forward to this one. The LC Dalhousie series is the one that's, I feel if there were two teams that were very much equaled this year, it's LC and Dalhousie. They know how to beat the other team. Mm-hmm. And I think this gets right down to the nitty gritty. I think it goes to game 7, and I think game 7 goes to overtime. That's how close I think these two teams are.
Yeah.
What are you putting out there into the world, Corey?
A very, very long night in Dalhousie for us.
Exactly.
Probably with snow and all that good stuff. Some Saint-Hubert gravy all over my pants.
Yes.
Which series are you girls looking forward?
Both.
Oof. Yeah.
Both.
I agree with you about the Dalhousie Elsipogtog series. I think it's going to be very much like the Hawks Lumberjacks of last season. And I think that we're going to find, I think that we're going to find, and now I'm switching over to the other game, that Miramichi is going to be the Lumberjacks of last year. I think that they are going to come out hard against the JCs. I think the JCs might, despite an entire season of not losing at home, I think we might find that happens this time. They've had 2 weeks off, a week and a half off?
Week and a half, yeah.
Week and a half. So it'll be interesting to see how they come out and respond to a very practiced Miramichi.
So, Camera, your thoughts?
Sister Pod. Thank you.
It's not what it says in the corner there.
It says my name. Oh no, you changed it. Oh my gosh.
I didn't change it. It's probably Corey.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. What was the question again? I'm sorry.
Which series are you looking forward to, and why? Both
are going to be incredible. Bucktoosh has been great all season. Colette is like the superstar. He's the ace in the hole. He's going to carry that team. because that's what he does. He carries that team. Plus, there's so much that I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see the first home game. I can't wait to see how Miramichi is going to push, because they are such a strong team. Mm-hmm. And I saw it in the first round. In the first round, I was at most of the Miramichi games, and it's just, you cannot stop them. And you never know. I can't wait to be in the crowd, recording and trying to not scream and not cheer for either team, because they're both so good, and they're both so good at home, especially because like Buckdouche, like kind of fans, like their fans are so loud, and it's packed, it's jam packed at every game that you go to, and playoffs are just going to be completely like, get there early if you want seats. Get there early, I suggest, because we're probably going to be there probably like 3 hours in advance to get seats, hopefully.
Yeah, I keep remembering Miramichi fans very much upset and very like questioning the standings because they didn't want to take on Amherst. Amherst had a red hot goalie, and they beat that goalie 3 times, and in the third game he was pulled. It's kind of the similar situation here where they're like, well, Buckdouche is clearly the favorite. They didn't lose at home. They finished first in the league. Do we see, like Tracy said, do we see a similar situation like in the first round? I can almost put money that Miramichi is not getting shut out in this series.
No.
I promise you. If they do, you know, I might have to put a couple dollars on Cool Bet.
There you go.
I don't see either series this round being sweeps.
No.
But could be surprised.
Never know.
Could be surprised. Anything else, ladies? The 3 stars this week, we're going to wait till the next episode. We didn't really... I discussed it a little bit with Corey, and he's really not feeling well. So if Corey can feel a little better, we'll figure something out. If he can't, us 3 will probably be back on Thursday to talk about the 3 stars and to highlight the games coming. So anything else, ladies?
No. I mean, I didn't pay that much attention to the Zamboni. I'll be honest with you. When I was in Rishabakto, did I?
I don't know. I was not there.
No, I don't remember. So 5 stars to whoever was driving.
There you go. The quick Boney review. So I believe we're going to throw it to some interviews Corey took this weekend with some players from the Elspeth Duck Hawks. So thank you for listening, and we will see you all on Thursday.
Take care.
Stay fresh.
All right, Corey du podcast. Je suis avec Jason Rioux. Gros game de soir, gros victoire contre les Corsaires. Comment ça filé?
Vraiment, ça fait vraiment du bien. Là. Je pense que c'est une de nos meilleures parties cette année. On a vraiment joué un gros 60 minutes. Je dirais toute la partie. On a passé la majorité du temps dans leur zone. Puis gagner, puis être bon pour passer à la deuxième ronde, ça fait vraiment du bien.
OK, so Dalhousie, la prochaine round. Grosse équipe, ça va être la fun. On va enjoyer ce soir, je crois, first, hein?
Oui, ça va faire du bien. Un petit break pour la fin de semaine, puis se préparer, puis se reposer pour être prêt pour la prochaine série contre Dalhousie.
So, c'est ta 2e saison dans la Ligue Beauséjour, Senior Beauséjour. Qu'est-ce que tu penses du calibre? Puis comment est-ce que tu aimes ça avec les Hawks cette année?
Ben, je dirais que l'année passée, je trouvais la Ligue vraiment bonne ça, mais là, cette année, on parle d'un autre niveau. Toutes les équipes là, sont vraiment la profondeur des équipes cette année. C'est vraiment le fun aussi pour les communautés dans la région. Puis j'aime vraiment les boys en chambre. Je pense qu'on a vraiment un beau groupe de gars, puis je pense qu'on peut se rendre très loin cette année.
J'attends une musique poundée right now. Là. Le full ici, à Richebourg-Tout, là, de soir, c'est le premier round. Là. C'est le premier round, probably comme 700 personnes. Absolument fou. Parle-moi du full, puis qu'est-ce que tu as à dire au full?
Ben, juste à soir, je me suis dit que je vais arriver à 1h30 avant la game, puis il y avait même pas de parking proche, puis j'étais obligé de me parquer à l'autre bout du monde, fait que juste ça prouve à quel point que les fans sont incroyables ici, puis c'est vraiment apprécié qu'ils viennent nous encourager.
Merci, Jason.
Merci.
All right, I'm here with Beausejour Senior Hockey League Rookie of the Year, Brody MacArthur. Man, first I'm going to talk about this crowd tonight. They're wild, man. What do you feel when you're on the ice?
Yeah, I mean, it's unreal. I mean, I don't think I've ever played in front of something like this. Like in Summerside Junior, we had great crowds, but it was such a big rink, so it was hard to hear and stuff. But yeah, we definitely have the best fans in the league, and I mean, it pays off. Like, gets the boys going.
So the Corsairs it was a tough series. Tonight was hard hitting. How'd you feel their night?
Yeah, I mean, all 3 games were tight. Like, they came out flying all 3 games. Our plan was to stay patient, keep throwing pucks on net, and keep wearing them down. And I think all 3 games, our game plan kind of worked. We kind of took over in the third period. So, yeah, I mean, props to them. They had a hard-fought series.
I was just talking to Jason Ryu. Guy's a heart and soul goalie, man. Talk to me about Jason.
Oh, he's stellar. I mean, like, he's the real deal. I mean, I've only played with him for, 13 games or so, but he always comes up big in the big moments, so it's great.
All right, Brody, thanks for this, and have fun in there.
Oh, yeah, thanks. Nice to meet you.